Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're here in Dublin, Ireland, outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral. And today what we have for you are the mistakes that tourists make when they come here to beautiful Dublin. Not coming to the cathedrals when you come here to Dublin is a mistake, okay? Because they're beautiful to check out here. St. Patrick's Cathedral, going in, it is very nice to go in. You see the memorials, you see the stuff. They still have services here. It's really cool. Yes, you got to pay to go in, but it's worth it. You can go to Christ Church as well, another cathedral here. Well worth it. You have all these churches around town you can go and enjoy and check out. So don't make a mistake of thinking I don't want to do religious stuff when I'm here, because the churches, for their architectural value and the historical importance of them, are all worth well visiting. Also, I do want to tell you, don't forget, if you are going to be coming to St. Patrick's Cathedral, they do have time tickets. So instead of waiting in the line, you can actually already have your tickets purchased with you. So you just have the QR code. Makes life a lot faster, especially on those days when there's tons and tons of tourists here. So do be aware of that. One thing I gotta say, never make the mistake of thinking you're gonna get lost when you're here in Dublin, because they have these signs all over the city. So if you want to get someplace wherever you're looking, just glance up. If your phone's not working or your map not sure, these things are everywhere. So it'll tell you if you want to go to St. Patrick's, you want to go to Christ Church, or for a museum. They're all over to help you out. So don't be afraid to use them, but really, honestly, don't make the mistake of thinking you're gonna get lost, because there are some windy roads, but the signs are everywhere. Now, another mistake tourists make when they come here to Dublin is really thinking that Grafton Street here is the only place you can go shopping. There's plenty of places to go shopping when you are here, but I will say there is something special about coming here and doing the window shopping when you are here and with all the people and all the stuff going on. So it is pretty fun. So whether there's music going on or you want to go see Motley Malone down that way, you have a lot of stuff that's here. So don't think it's the only place to shop, but it is a fun place to go and kind of check everything out. Hey, another mistake you're going to make is if you don't go back to school when you're here in Dublin. Coming here to Trinity College, it's really cool with the architecture that's here, but the key thing is going to see the Book of Kells and the Book of Kells experience. I mean, it is an experience to see because of the history of that book and what it means for Dublin and Ireland and just all kinds of things is gorgeous. But the whole experience you have with your ticket, you can go in and do that. Don't forget to pre-book your ticket so you know when you're going to get in. But it is a really cool experience here. But even if you don't get to go into that, you just come here and enjoy the school or the walking around and taking the architecture here. It's beautiful at Trinity College. I mean, it's beautiful. I don't know what else I can say. It's a mistake not to come in here. Even if you're scared of college students and being a college professor, sometimes I am. Now remember, when you go see the Book of Kells, you only see 2 pages at a time, but it's still worth the experience because you get to come here to the long room. It's under construction right now, getting redone, but it's still beautiful. The mistake travelers make when they come here to Dublin, they think Temple Bar is just this bar. Temple Bar is this whole little area of the town with lots of bars and restaurants you can go to. But I will say it might be a mistake if you think you're going to hang out with a lot of locals when you're here, because this is very popular for the tourists to go out and have drinks. That's why I got to tell you, don't make the mistake of just going out here. You can go out throughout the city because there's tons of great pubs with tons of great live music all over the city, okay? So don't think you just have to stay here. That would be a mistake, okay? Because sometimes a little touristy when you have just tourists drinking with you. Also a little bit pricier, so save some money, go explore more of the city, okay? So another mistake I see tourists make when they come here to Dublin is they miss out on going to the Kilmainham Gaol. And I'm going to tell you, it's a true experience. It's not just, oh, going to see an old jail. It's really learning about the history of the Easter Uprising and just how everything was in it. It gives you a lot of history of the city and of the independence of Ireland. And so it's really great to go to. But a lot of people miss it because they think, oh, it's just a jail. It's so much more than that. But also a mistake is to think you can just show up. They have time tickets. You have to go on a tour. And they only release those about 28 days beforehand. So therefore, you need to book that as soon as you can, so do have a heads up on that one, because otherwise you might miss out. Now, when you do come here to Dublin, don't forget about some of the fun little cruises and tours and just silly things you can do when you're here. There's pub crawls, there's, ghost story tours, all kinds of things. But also you can do the Viking Splash Tour, which was kind of fun. My mom and I went on that. It was just kind of fun to go around, listen to the really corny, horribly funny jokes, and it was really a good time. So that's what I want to say is, when you come here, don't just do the history kind of stuff. Go find the fun things as well, because that's what makes Dublin so much more than just a city of museums and stuff like that. Because there's just a lot of character building activities you could do when you're here. Another mistake when it comes to educating yourself when you come here to Dublin is really not taking the time to educate yourself about whiskey when you're here. There are a lot of whiskey tours you can go on when you're here in Dublin, not just to taste a few, but actually learn some. So if you want to have your Jameson experience when you're here, you can, and you'll learn about it, and you get a lot more out of the delicious drink when you know the history of it. So That's one of those things. A safety mistake that tourists make when they come here to Dublin is not looking right when they cross the street. Remember, they drive on the left here, so they're probably coming from a different direction they're used to. And you don't want to get hit because it's not a good way to go, my friends. Also, probably don't want to hit up the hospital when you're here either. So don't forget, look right when you cross the street. Don't make that mistake. It's a beautiful day here in Dublin, and I think that's a mistake that people make, is thinking that it's always rainy, it's always cruddy weather when you come here to Dublin. That's not the case. It actually has beautiful weather, especially in the summertime. However, I will tell you this, don't make the mistake of not bringing layers when you come here, because you do never know when a storm might pop up or a rain shower. Even if it says it's going to be sunny all day, there might be some clouds that pop up, so it's important to have those layers. Also, you won't believe the temperature change you'll feel when the clouds go away and the sun hit you, but then when you go behind a tree or a building or something, and you really notice that difference. But honestly, having all the different clothing options you might need when you're here is important, so make sure before you come to Dublin, look at the 10-day forecast. If it says it's going to be nice the whole time, realize it's going to rain, okay? But you don't need to have like the poncho, because that's a little silly having the poncho when you're here. It doesn't rain like that when you're here. It does rain. You do want to have layers. But yeah, mistaking the weather, thinking it's going to be what it says it's going to be, problematic, I would tell you, for that on your trip here. Now, another mistake tourists make when they do come here to Dublin is, after you spend all this time in Ireland, you're used to all those medieval castles. So when you come to the Dublin Castle, you think, oh, it's going to be like medieval and craziness, awesome, beautiful stonework, all kinds of stuff. No, don't think of the medieval Ireland castles when you're thinking of the Dublin Castle. What you're more thinking of is, like, they still do business there and they still have events there. I mean, you have some, the state apartments and stuff. You can see that. That's kind of cool, but it's not the medieval, like, old world castle kind of stuff. There's parts that are still there of that, but in general it's more of a government building kind of feel than a tourist medieval castle kind of feel, because there's really nothing like that there. All right, another mistake tourists make when they come here, they think, oh, if I get pictures with Molly Malone, people will know I'm a tourist. Don't worry, they already know you're a tourist when you're here, so get your pictures with Molly Malone. It's okay. So another mistake tourists make when they come here to Dublin is thinking the spire here is supposed to really be a really important tourist attraction. It's not. It's basically a flagpole without a flag. So just letting you know that one. So don't be mistaken by it, okay? Now you can do shopping by here. It's not Grafton Street, but there's shops you can afford when you're down here to see the spire. But yeah, it's just flagpole with no flag. Another mistake I see tourists make when they come to Dublin is when they rent a car, they want to come into Dublin. Do not do that. Driving in Dublin is horrible, horrible, horrible. So what you should do is, when you fly in, get your car, drive out, go explore Ireland, come in, drop it off, then come to see the city. Or when you fly in, come see the city, then go out and get the car, then get out. Because honestly, driving in Dublin is horrible. But I will say the biggest mistake we all make is the worst part of every visit coming to Ireland if you rent a car. And that's that first 30 minutes. Because it's going to take you 30 minutes to get out of the airport when you have a rental car. Or if you're trying to get out and find your rideshare people, it's kind of a pain to get out of the airport. So that's one of those mistakes. Think you're going to get out and go when you first get here, when you got a car or you're trying to get out. It is very frustrating. Now, a mistake I think is important to mention when you're coming here to Dublin, really don't make the mistake that Dublin really represents all of Ireland. It is a capital city. It is a big city. It's an international city. It's like saying New York City truly represents the United States, or Berlin truly represents Germany. No, there's parts that, yes, that represent Ireland here. You've got friendly people, you've got some cool sights to see, you got the pub life, the music. But I really want to say is this, when you come here, a lot of people get turned off from Ireland because of Dublin, because all the people, the over tourism, the people going around, and with big cities you have issues. And I don't want you to think that is something that should turn you off of coming to Ireland. Because honestly, Ireland is a fantastic place, so you do want to explore more. So don't make the mistake of just staying in Dublin. Go out and explore more of the country. Even if you can only do some day trips, go to the Wicklow Mountains, that's fine. Or you want to take the longer day trips, you can do that. But try to get out a little bit farther so you can see more than just Dublin. Because it doesn't truly represent all of Ireland. It's a Dublin, it's a city. You come here for the city life, and you get the city life when you're here. So don't make the mistake of thinking this is quaint little Ireland, because it's not. Now I gotta tell you, don't think it's a mistake that you start taking lots of pictures of doors when you're here in Dublin, because Dublin doors is a thing when you're here, and when you go around, you see them all colorful, but you see them so austere looking, but then so colorful. It's just a fun thing to do. So I'm sure you're going to take quite a few pictures. So don't think it's a mistake that you keep seeing these doors all colorful and fun, because that's the thing here in Dublin, all right? So go ahead and take pictures away. Another mistake I think people make is they think Dublinia is just for like school groups and stuff. It is actually pretty funny, but actually very, educational as well. And there's some silly stuff too, but if you want to do something to learn about like the Viking history and the medieval history of the city and some silliness, Dublinia can be a place for you to go. Now, another mistake tourists make when they come here to Dublin is just buying the silly souvenirs, the leprechauns and the Guinness stuff. Yeah, you can get that, it's nice, but you actually do really good shopping when you're here. And I know I talked about Grafton Street here by the Spire, you can do some shopping. But honestly, I think it really is a mistake if you just focus on those kind of tourist shops, do your shopping when you are here, because there are tons of stores here. This is the best place to go shopping in Ireland for all kinds of stuff. So if you found something you really love about Ireland, you have a good chance of getting here. Or like when we come visit, this is where Jocelyn will get clothes. Caleb loved it here. He got kicks. He got new kicks. He got all kinds of new stuff when he was here. So that's one of those things I got to tell you is, explore out and don't just get the silly souvenirs. Get some other good stuff too, because you can get really handmade stuff from around Ireland here as well. So you can do like traditional stuff too. So just kind of think about it. We should do our part to help the Irish economy, right? Some other mistake I see tourists make when they come to Dublin is missing out on all the free sites. There's a lot of places you can go and see things where you don't have to pay to get in, so you can save money. So don't miss out on those free things, especially national museums, where a lot of times the admission, there is none, or you can only just donate if you want to donate. So it's just something to kind of think about and not miss out on all those free things to do here in Dublin. Because honestly, the things you have to pay for, you really have to pay for. I mean, honestly, there are so many free galleries, so many free museums you can see here in Dublin that it can really knock off the price of your visiting here because of all those free things. So don't pass up the free museums. Like here, the National Gallery of Ireland. It's free. They even have the sign right there to tell you free entry. So go and enjoy them when you're here. Now, a mistake tourists make when they come to Dublin, and actually Ireland in general, is not really trying real Guinness. Because when you have it back home, it's not the same. Here, you want to get it fresh. And you can actually go to the storehouse here. Now remember, it's timed tickets, so book your ticket, you go through. It's a really kind of a cool experience. Hour and a half when you're here. What's cool is you go to the top. Well, you can't see here, but you go to the top of the Sky Bar and you get to have a nice, wonderful Guinness when you're there. You get a view of the city. So, not bad. Now, another mistake I see tourists make when they come here to Dublin is they only kind of stay in the urbanness of Dublin, when you got to realize there's actually green spaces you can enjoy. You want to go to Phoenix Park. They have a fantastic zoo here. The Dublin Zoo is awesome. You can go there and there's plenty of green space. You want to picnic, you want to bike, you want to just spend time out there, you can do that. Or if you want something more in town, you got St. Stephen's Green, where you can go and the pavilions that are there, going around there to kind of get away from all the tourists, all the people, all the people throwing elbows at you kind of stuff. St. Stephen's Green gives you a place to go to kind of get away from it all, to have some green space, to not just be in this urban jungle in Ireland, which is so weird when you're here. So I hope these mistakes I taught you about help you have a better time when you do come here to Dublin. It's a fantastic city. The whole country is amazing to go to. But what are some other mistakes you see tourists make when they come here to Dublin? Please put in the comments below so we can help other travelers coming to Dublin not make those silly tourist mistakes, so they can fall in love with the city as well. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin.